Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. So if you're listening to this, this is going to be a special episode. It's going to be a back issue. Back when Tyler and I used to do Tinfoil Radio, which honestly was the podcast that led into this. So it's a little bit of lore for you. And off panel, off topic. Anyway, Jake here to let you know that this is going to be a throwback episode to when we used to do Tinfoil Radio. And in that time, it was 2020 when we did this. It was the War on Christmas episode. So this is going to be a little bit more political than a usual episode of Off Panel, Off Topic. But most of you guys kind of know with the Griff Report and things like that, you kind of know where we lean politically. So probably not that much out of the realm of what you would normally experience here on the show. Anyways, I'm going to let Past Me take over as we cover the War on Christmas.
This is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze and smoking weed.
I'm married. I'm married.
Jake,
can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Tyler and I are back for another great episode. It's a magical time of year, isn't it, Tyler?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Hey, you can't say that. The left will stop you from saying that because
the left can eat my ass.
Because I don't know if you know this, but there's a war.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho! Oh, holy sh! Oh, stop the music! This is not joyful. It's the War on Christmas.
So, before we go, obviously this is episode 49. We're getting close to our 1-year anniversary, buddy.
Ooh, yeah, a couple weeks.
I've got you a diamond necklace.
I didn't get you shit, so.
Seriously, fuck you. We're talking about Christianity, and I'm aware of the fact that a lot of our audience is Christians. But
or at least believes in a God.
I need to tell you something. Nobody's fucking persecuting Christians. Nobody is. In fact, if there's anybody being persecuted, it's Muslims, to be honest, and Jews. They're the ones who are persecuted.
Yeah.
So just stop. The next time one of your relatives tells you that you're being, or some religious leader or some demagogue tells you you're being persecuted, stop listening to that person.
Well, that's the thing, Tyler. It's not millennials. It's boomers and Gen Xers that are still holding on. They're the hardcore conservative mindset that, like, you can't change tradition, and America's been great for so long because we've done things this way, that kind of mentality.
It's respectful to say
traditionalists.
It's respectful to say happy holidays to somebody you don't know, because that means, hey, I'm not sure what you celebrate this time of year, because there's like 14 fucking different religions celebrating shit.
Right.
Between these 2 weeks. So happy holidays, because that's my respect to you, as saying, hey, I'm not sure if you're Christian or not, so I'm not going to be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people take that. If I say happy holidays to somebody takes it to be offense. I'm just like, you are literally getting upset because I told you to have a good day.
Yeah, yeah.
I told you that I hope you don't die before the end of the day, essentially. I hope that your family is healthy and well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that are struggling at this time of year with mental illness and suicide.
So I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, because it's not always a great time of year for everybody. Somebody could be struggling, especially this year.
You know what? I'll tell you one thing. If it was June instead of happy holidays, I would say have a nice day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
So let's get on with it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Happy holidays, everybody.
That's a great analogy, by the way.
This week, we just had to talk about the biggest conspiracy theory of the season. We're talking all about the war on Christmas.
There's a war on Christmas.
Yeah. Even when I was younger, when all this was going on, because when this happened, I was born in 93.
Okay.
So when this initially happened in the aughts, that when I noticed it with the Bill O'Reilly stuff that we'll get into.
It was going on when I was a kid, too.
Even then, as a kid, I was like, this seems kind of dumb. It
was really dumb.
And I was never really a religious kid to begin with.
I had gone to church, and I still went to church until I think out just maybe a year or so out of high school. That's when I stopped going to church or whatever. And I don't. It's just my thing. I was like, I don't care what you believe. That's always kind of who I've been. So if you celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or like you said, the 13 other holidays that are being celebrated around this time, I don't give a shit. Why should it matter? But there's some people, and you'll see it a lot. It really is. We are too invested in other people's lives.
Yeah.
And we care too much about what other people are doing.
Take care of your own.
Yeah, and it's like you need to.
Now, and here's where conservatives get confused, I think, because we're telling them to take care of others and to be responsible and respectful of others, and then we literally just said, worry about yourself. So conservatives are like, well, what do you want me to fucking do?
Nothing.
What I want you to do is live your life and stop telling others how to live their life. And if somebody's living their life the way you don't like and they're not hurting anybody else, especially you, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm getting heated already.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be an
I'm just kidding.
episode.
I'm just kidding. I'm having a good time.
My whole thing is like, yeah, I agree with that too. And I agree with the idea of like, if you don't understand where somebody's coming from outside of some really extreme beliefs, why not have that conversation with them and be like, why do you believe this?
Sure.
Explain to me why it matters to you. And you know what? If you can take away from that and it still doesn't work for you, that's okay. Instead of saying, oh, it's a war on my beliefs. Because it never is.
No, if you're constantly trying to push your beliefs on other people, it's never going to be a war on your beliefs because it's literally saying, hey, I'm tired of listening to your beliefs because I'm not going to believe in them. That's the thing about Christianity that bugs the shit out of me, too. I know, like, Islam also kind of recruits, if you will, but Christianity literally tells their followers to recruit more Christians under the guise of it's your responsibility to save everybody else's soul on earth.
It's literally, they turn the gospel
into a weapon.
Into
a weapon of persuasion.
An anagram. Like every letter means something, and it's all about recruitment. And I learned that in like high school when I was in like a youth group kind of thing. So it's weird. But let's get into the war on Christmas, because you said you saw it, you experienced it as a kid. I experienced it as a kid. This goes way back further than we expected.
I'm saying, and we'll get into it, but I already knew that this whole nonsense had been going on since at least the early 1900s. That was around the time, I would say the American Enlightenment period started in the 1900s.
Yeah.
A very, very tiny spark, and by the 60s, whoa.
Yeah, it was a powder keg.
But you can see how, like, in the 1900s, the 1900s, if you will, stuff was like, hey, we can't let 5-year-olds work in canning factories anymore.
Maybe we should put in some child labor laws.
You know what I'm saying? It started small.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't shoot the miners if they want a better wage.
I get it. We're just starting as a country. We're only, 100 so years in. It's rough, but we got to stop putting kids in these factories.
How dumb.
And then fine, okay, we'll outsource it to Korea.
Thanks, Sinclair Lewis.
Or some other country to make fucking Jordan shoes.
It's cool as long as it's Somalian kids.
Sure.
That's what Americans
Child
say.
labor's okay as long as it's not in America.
Look at the tiny stitching. This was definitely made by a child.
Their tiny hands are so nimble.
Hey, I spent $200 extra on that. Go ahead. You wanted to take that. So to trace the beginning of this war, we must go to the time of the 1920s. Now, like we talked about, we got 20 years later, we're still grappling with some things.
Yeah.
And we start with one of the country's biggest anti-Semites, Henry Ford, who contributed vehicles and capital to the Nazi war effort, by the way.
Yeah, this is noted. Not a lot of people know this, but yes, Henry Ford...
Evidence you can look up.
...was a huge anti-Semite.
Oh, yeah. He loved the Nazis, dude. He's like, oh, yeah.
I would say it's similar to like Woodrow Wilson and his level of bigotry.
Oh, yeah.
It is crazy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And isn't that weird that both of them were bigots because of their religion?
Strange.
Which religion was that? He said this in 1921, as Henry Ford. Quote, last Christmas, most people had a hard time finding Christmas cards that indicated in any way that Christmas commemorated someone's birth. This was a part of his horribly anti-Semitic pamphlets, The International Jew, the World's Foremost Problem. How the fuck is Ford allowed to still operate in our country?
Well, How
knowing that the
how do
guy
you
who
let
started it
someone
was
publish
a
that?
Nazi. Yeah.
How do you read the title, The International Jew, the World's Foremost Problem, and not think, oh man, that's fucking anti-Semitic?
Well, there's a printer. There was a printer around that time who was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to help you, Henry."
Well, yeah, and that's a good point. You also have to understand the timing of this.
There's always going to be somebody.
There's early 1920s. We're still pretty racist at this time in this country.
God.
Very bigoted people. And so I could see how something anti-Semitic like this would get published.
And it was a baseless claim, by the way.
I think this is definitely...
I don't even think the average American knew the word Hanukkah until like 1957 at least.
Well, and I think this is way before we had libel laws and slander. And this, because back in the day, they could print whatever the hell they wanted.
And guess who started those? William Randolph Hearst.
Ooh.
Because he's a piece of shit. In those pamphlets, Ford accuses American Jews of being in on the conspiracy to abolish Christmas celebrations in public.
Of course.
Ford's baseless claim of, quote, Jewish opposition to Christmas essentially started with Jewish leaders challenging the teaching of Christianity in public schools, as when a Massachusetts school board was lobbied and initially consented to remove all references to Jesus from classroom Christmas exercises in 1912.
See,
We'll go back to this in a little bit. I just want to finish the section.
Yeah.
Ford went so far as to accuse the Jewish owners, so keep that in mind whatever you got, to accuse the Jewish owners of some of America's great department stores, quote, the Levies and the Isaacs and the Goldsteins and the Silvermans, of, quote, profiteering on the sale of Christmas merchandise while conspiring at the same time to undermine the religious significance of the holiday.
Oh, my God. This is so delusional. And... listen to how fucking anti-Semitic it is. Look at the names. Levi's, Isaacs, Goldsteins, Silvermans. Could you be any more on the nose with your intentions there? Those are... oh, my God. Come on.
Did you just say on the nose?
Oh, damn it. No, I'm canceled. No. But go back to what I was saying earlier. Was why do some Christians have this hard-on that Jews are pissed that they share a holiday the same time you do? Like, why does it matter to you? How does that happen where the Jews are like, fuck, man, they're taking Hanukkah, it doesn't matter.
I'm not Jewish, but I'm willing to bet that the average Jewish person, if they had to wish for something about their religion and the fact that, you know what I mean, like something that would benefit their religion and everything, I'm willing to bet it would be, I just want to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Yeah.
Stop blaming us for shit.
That's true. The Jews have been put through so much shit on this planet.
I read this book
unbelievable.
By this comedy book. It was imaginary fights, and it was great. And the guy who wrote it was Jewish, and he had this whole section at the end, and he was talking about Jews running the world. And he was like, "So Jews run the world, huh? Well, if that's the case, I'm Jewish. How come I had to borrow money last month to pay my rent?"
Yeah, exactly.
But just to let you know, one of this country's, by the way, still celebrated, by the way, in many circles as a leader and an innovator and all this stuff. One of your country's first technological leaders, okay, printed a series of pamphlets that today would be the same as those darn Mexicans.
And yeah, and it would be like him posting these as tweets, like public for everyone to see. It'd be like if Donald Trump had tweeted something like this.
Yeah. It literally it's the same.
Better comparison. It is equivalent to when Elon Musk tweets his ignorant, stupid fucking bullshit that I see just for clout. It's the equivalent to that, except unlike Elon Musk, Henry Ford was actually a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he really believed these anti-Semitic
things. I think the jury's out on Elon Musk.
Oh, yeah. Elon Musk is a fucking dipshit.
But, and just to go back to it, when a Massachusetts school board, some of you may have heard us read that and been like, hey, why are Jewish people trying to do that? Here's the issue. The issue is not, it's never, hey, I don't like Jesus. It's, hey, you know what? Either give us equal time or just nothing at all.
Yeah.
That's all they're saying.
They just want everybody to be included. And for some reason, that triggers conservatives.
Do you think the lady that sued McDonald's because she got coffee spilled in her lap wanted money from McDonald's? No. She had third-degree burns.
Yeah.
You read about that shit. That lady wanted them to stop because they were serving their coffee at like 270 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
She just wanted them to pay her hospital bills and to stop making it so hot. And because, whatever. Point is, you got to look at the reasonings behind it.
Yeah, there's
exactly.
two what's the cliche? It's a two-way street. There's always two sides to a story. Anyway,
first of all, if you're having classroom quote unquote Christmas exercises,
you shouldn't be
right off the bat. Anyway,
so here's the thing: it's the war after the war, Tyler. The history of the war on Christmas continues into the 1950s. Christianity insisted it was under attack in America.
That's familiar.
Yeah, it's a common theme. Yeah. However, after World War II, religion spiked in America. A 1997 history of the period cited some astounding statistics about the trend. On a typical Sunday morning in the period from 1955 to 1958, almost half of all Americans were attending church, the highest percentage in U.S. history. So, I don't know how popular religion... It's definitely not as big as it was here, religion in America. But
I'd say it's getting back to that now.
It is so unbelievable that you and I are sitting here saying, that sounds familiar. And this was happening in the fucking 20s, now in the 50s. And it really is crazy how much this has expanded across generations. It's a thing that never ends.
I'm aware that that I may get some cold shoulders at your event next summer because of things that I'm going to say in this episode. But I'm aware of this. But I'm not denigrating your beliefs, okay? And I'm talking to you, and you know who you are. Whoever you are listening and going, man, I don't like that Tyler guy. Listen, please. Pay attention. I'm not denigrating your beliefs. But think about it like this. Your entire religion is based off of a guy who may or may not have been the Son of God, for your purposes, let's say he was, who was persecuted for his beliefs because at the time that he believed what he believed, his beliefs were really, really, really in the minority. So naturally, it in the beginning of Christianity, yes, you guys were persecuted a lot. The Romans did not like you guys. Okay? But that is the last time any of you have been persecuted. Trust me. Unless it was by your own in the Spanish Inquisition, okay? I'm just... stop it.
Yeah. No, and that's...
You are not persecuted. Yes, Jesus died for your sins. Stop sinning then. How about that, motherfucker? How about that, fuckface? Okay.
Yeah, and it's... Sorry to all the audio listeners.
I start talking about religion. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. No, I know, and I understand where you're coming from because it's someone like... It's like when we go back to the Henry Ford stuff with him saying that the Jews are attacking him. And I said, what motive is there to that? Because, like you had been saying... Christians, yes, had faced some sort of oppression, and yes, that when you were talking about, but it's nowhere near what Jewish people have had to live through. Generations of suffering.
Throughout their entire existence.
Their whole existence.
Their entire existence is, I guess it's time to be fucked with again.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, we mad at the Jews again? Yeah, let's fucking go after the Jews. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. When you see a white... Mostly white, by the way, Tyler. American Christians saying they're persecuted is fucking rich. All right, so let's get back to this.
Let's not get started on Israel, because that's a whole other ball of wax.
This episode is going to be just brutal.
Go ahead, sorry.
During the 1950s, nationwide church membership grew at a faster rate than the population, from 57% of the U.S. population in 1950 to 63.3% in 1960.
That's crazy.
A 1954 report in Women's Wear Daily cited...
Which was full of skirts.
Yes. No cleavage.
Pants.
No leg.
No pointy boobies.
They're just in...
no cleavage, but big old pointy bra boobs.
Yeah. For whatever reason, that was...
Put your eye out.
So that cited developments pointing to a nationwide, quote, spiritual trend... spiritual trend in retail holiday presentations. This is why I included this, because this is beautiful, because it's close to home, guys, in Iowa. Quote, the Christmas Street Decoration Committee of the Waterloo Chamber of Commerce, Waterloo, Iowa, followed the lead of many other towns in Iowa, putting Christ back in Christmas. To express this idea, a nativity scene was placed in Soldiers and Sailors Park here. It is lighted, good God, this is a direct quote, by the way. It is lighted at night A 46-inch aluminum star appears above the 15 life-size figures in the scene, end quote.
And I just have to tell you, if you are a Christian and you're, so upset about the war on Christmas,
1954, by the way,
you need to decide what your fucking holiday is all about. What is it all about? Is it about Santa and presents and capitalism, or is it about Jesus and
family
Mary and Joseph
and joy
and
being
being
together?
with Which is it? You can't have it both ways. I mean, I know a lot of you rich people do.
Oh yeah,
but surprisingly, a lot of rich people don't like each other.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah,
and also, you bring that up because I've made it clear to people that know me, I'm not religious. I'm very, I don't care. I'm very ambivalent to the afterlife and all that stuff because, it's just, we're not going to get into all my beliefs here.
I consider myself a Christian, but
even I believe in Christmas in a traditional way that it should be believed in. And the idea of it's not about necessarily the religion of it. It's more so the idea of being with your family, being together,
right,
and being happy, ending the year
just
on a higher note.
Spending time with people you don't
spend time with people and say, okay, it's
good to see you.
This is the end of the year.
I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah, and let's get into the new year.
And for those of you who think, oh, well, Christmas is really about presents, assholes, let me give you...
I have not cared about presents since I was a kid.
Let me give you a thought exercise. You get every fucking present you could possibly imagine on Christmas this year, but you are forced to open them all over a 72-hour period in a room all by yourself. Still think it's fucking Christmas? Just think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, cool, I got all the shit I wanted,
Tyler,
but I have nobody to share it with.
Tyler, here's the difference. We grew up poor, so we didn't always get the most flashy, cool thing on Christmas.
I'd say we were
it made
middle
us,
class, so we got toys.
But it made us appreciate being with our family more than
sure,
the actual
Yeah.
materialism of it. So the post-World War II religious boom also had an impact on the public schools of the time. In 1955, a resolution adopted by the National Council of the Churches of Christ, what a name, representing 30 Protestant
and you guys can't even figure out which one you want. I mean, 30? Really?
Yeah. Explicitly called for the inclusion of religious teachings in classrooms. Quote, "It is expected that public schools shall teach that religion is an essential aspect of our national heritage and culture, that this nation subsists under the governance of God, and that our moral and ethical values rest upon religious grounds and sanctions. To do otherwise would be to distort history," end quote. Funny that he brings that up because they lay it out right here in 1955, and they've been doing this for this long. It is culture war bullshit.
Yeah.
And here it is, heritage and culture. These motherfuckers that are all for like Save Christmas and everything and all this shit are the same people that will talk shit and say all these horrible things and say everything that you do is virtue signaling and identity politics. You do the same fucking thing. And that's why this is a stupid thing. The culture wars are dumb. That's why this cancel culture shit's stupid. This is why because you're playing into the hands of these cultural demagogues that we made up. And that is all this fucking shit is.
And if you are such a fucking patriot and you are worried about the heritage and everything about our country, then we shouldn't have any religious shit anywhere at all.
Yeah.
Because they were
and that's,
firmly atheists.
And that's
almost
also
all of them were.
And I also want to make this clear.
Look it up in case you're like, no.
I'm not saying that calling people out for the stupid shit they say is a bad thing. I'm just saying you have to also understand context. And like you've always said on the show, and I will always say, we need to give people a chance to reconcile and see what's wrong.
Right.
And why that's not okay before we say cast you out.
All I really need, anybody listening to this who thinks there is a war on Christmas, is for you to figure out that there isn't, and to devote your
ask
energies
yourself how many fucking radio stations are
devote
playing
your
nothing.
energies to maybe reading to sick kids in the hospital
Right.
or something
How
productive.
many radio stations play nothing but Christmas music? How many times do you get
Right? What the fuck? Really?
yeah,
Come on. Yeah.
How many Christmas
the
songs
day
can
after Halloween?
Other than that fucking Adam Sandler song and Dreidel, 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 can you name any other Hanukkah songs?
In fact, for one of the shows around here, we've been playing Christmas music, and I took it upon myself to look up, like, I don't know anything other than dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. And then there's Pass It to the Left, the candle to the left.
Yeah.
That's another song, traditional song. And I looked it up, and I couldn't find any, like, you know, alternative versions of, like, you know what I mean? And because I wanted to give some time to, you know, people who celebrate Hanukkah. But I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is really difficult.
So again, just remember, there's
so
no
look at the context
war.
of what if you truly look around this country between November 1st and like January 1st, and you think there's a war on Christmas, you're fucking
Tyler,
blind.
it's not even November 1st anymore.
You're blind.
It's like 2 weeks before Halloween's over.
I'm blind.
In 1957, controversy over the erection of a nativity scene at a small-town public high school in Ossining, I'm going to guess. Ossining, New York.
That's where Sing Sing is.
Oh.
Sing Sing Prison.
After the Board of Education approved the proposal for display, officials received letters of protest from local residents arguing that it would violate the First Amendment. The board reconsidered and ultimately rescinded their approval. They, in turn, were accused of intolerance in a now familiar cycle. So again, it's, hey, other people said, you probably shouldn't put that up because you're favoring one religion. And they're like, yeah, you're right. That's probably something we shouldn't do. And then, of course, the Christians are pissed for no reason.
Here's the thing is, I mean, you think about it, and I genuinely do not have a problem with what they wanted to do.
And I've said multiple times
really
whenever we
don't.
talked about Christianity and Christians, I don't think all Christians are bad. I don't think people that go to church are bad.
If you think spending time putting up a nativity scene shows your commitment to Christ, then fucking knock yourself out, dude. I don't
part of
agree
the
with
problem,
you.
then. Yes,
I
you're
don't
the
agree with
issue,
you. I
not
think
normal Christians.
I think you know, showing your commitment to Christ would be to be a lot kinder.
Yeah.
To stop hating gay people. You know, just basic shit.
This story even managed to catch the attention of the far-right group, the John Birch Society.
Hey, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, they're going to, recurring character, the John Birch Society. They wrote a
Did you
pamphlet.
have a guy just come out like, I'm the John Birch Society.
You will know. All right, I'm going to read it like that then. Here we go.
No.
There was one pamphlet that they wrote that was titled, There Goes Christmas! There goes Christmas!
There goes Christmas.
The pamphlet warned, quote, one of the techniques now being applied by the Reds
Russians.
to weaken the pillar of religion in our country is to drive to take Christ out of Christmas. To denude the event of its religious meaning.
By the way, in case you're unaware, denude is exactly what it sounds like. It is the opposite of nude.
Put
it is
clothes
to cover
back on.
It is to cover up. Yeah, go ahead.
The UN fanatics launched their assault on Christmas in 1958. But too late to get very far before the holy day was at hand. What the fuck are these people? These people think they're so important.
Why do they talk like that,
They're
too?
so fucking dumb. They are already busy, however, at this very moment in efforts to poison the 1959 Christmas season with their high-pressure propaganda. What they now want is to put over on the American people is simply this. Department stores throughout the country are to utilize UN symbols and emblems as Christmas decorations. End quote.
Are you fucking serious? You know, this is interesting. I was at Target and I was just looking for like a wreath, and all I could find was just big giant UN symbols all over the place.
Yeah, I know, right?
And what is that, by the way?
What happened?
Is it just a big blue square with the letters U and N in the middle? What is a UN symbol?
Yeah, I don't even know what the actual UN logo looks like, if I'm being totally
Is it a
honest.
shitload of flags? I mean,
That's like, yeah, what is it?
what the fuck are you talking about?
It's something the Reds have been
It's the same
attempting, man.
It's okay. Do you remember? Just real quick, a couple of weeks ago, this leader from Israel came out and tried to say that that we know about the existence of extraterrestrial life. Right? Did you read about that?
That Trump knew, too.
Yeah,
that Trump knows.
Did you notice that when he had a chance to make up like a whole bunch of shit, he was really bad at it?
Yeah,
it's because it's not real. So this guy, the best he could come up with in his tiny little mind, whoever wrote this, was that instead of wreaths and Santa Clauses and Frosties, It's UN symbols and emblems. Everybody knows what those are, right?
And then the next thing you'll have is globalism.
And then he published it, and then he realized somebody came up to him, and they were like, what's a UN emblem? And he's like, motherfucker!
Blast! We at the John Birch Society have made a dire mistake.
Damn it.
Damn.
So that's what's really funny about it, is that he literally, like, if you're going to lie, fucking do your research first.
Yeah, right. At least attempt to make it sound educated.
Like,
yeah.
Something.
Also, I just noticed something. This next section.
If you really wanted to
I spelled, I used the wrong there.
That's all right. But if you really wanted to fuck with them, what you should have said is department stores throughout the country are to utilize Stars of David as Christmas decoration. That would have been...
Stop it. We can't write. You know what the worst part is? We've been doing this show so long.
Somebody listening to this show right now is going to stop listening to the show and call Target and be like, I can't believe that you're making me use Stars of David. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I'm worried about. Is like, we've been doing this show so long. Right. We know the grift. We know the gold, so we could probably do it better than them.
Right? It's so...
It's scary to have that much power.
This is why we're angry, is because our friends and family are being sucked in by this nonsense.
Yeah.
And we miss our friends and family.
And we're such an angry country right now. Rightfully so, but...
But why are we angry? Are we angry for the right reasons?
We're saying don't be angry at this stuff, because this isn't worth being angry
Yeah, don't
about.
be angry at a fictional child slavery ring in the bottom of a pizzeria.
You know, and don't worry.
Be angry that your fucking president just told us he's going to veto the $600.
Hey, let's get to the topic.
Secularism rolls out their next assault. Yeah, that's bugging me.
Sorry.
Now move ahead in time to cover the battles from the 70s to 90s. The civil rights and anti-war movements of the 1960s presented a head-on challenge to the conservatism of the 50s.
Yeah, like
read
we were just
white
saying,
America. Just read that as... let's start over. The civil rights and anti-war movements of the 1960s presented a head-on challenge to all white people. The 70s... of all shapes and sizes and all colors. The 70s and 80s...
The first... And it was... Sorry, but... It was like we were talking about earlier. It was an explosion.
Oh, yeah.
In late 60s into the 70s and 80s was a total change culturally.
Suburban white America was just like, everything's fine. And then the 60s exploded, and they were like, wait, what?
And you have this generation that, for the first time...
And people are still insisting that black people have it just fine.
Aren't in favor of a war. It's the first time that Americans are like, why the fuck are we over there? We don't need to be over there. Because any other time, it makes sense.
Korea was the first time... It was not as pronounced as Vietnam. Generally, if you went to Korea and came back, you got a hero's welcome and stuff. But Vietnam was when
they were spitting
that
on you.
stuff. That's bullshit. Yeah. I don't care, man.
You shouldn't spit on someone, regardless.
Well, people just don't. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
The 70s and 80s saw a shift toward greater recognition of and sensitivity toward Americans' growing ethnic and religious diversity.
Yeah, boy.
World is changing.
How is that bad, Tyler? That doesn't sound bad to me at all.
At all, actually.
That's what we should be doing.
Secularism was on the rise, too, as reflected in letters to newspaper editors complaining in the mid-'80s, much as Henry Ford had done in the 20s, that Merry Christmas was giving way to Happy Holidays, even as the big department stores maximized their profits via seasonal advertising.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you right now, I've worked in many retail places, and I've worked in many service industry places.
Yeah.
I have never been told by a manager, don't you fucking dare say Merry Christmas or you're fired.
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
Never. Want to know why? Because I would own that fucking company.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
I would own that restaurant.
They can't make
I would
you
own that
do
Target
anything
store.
for
Shit,
religious purposes. They can't. It's completely illegal.
You know what? In every orientation video, in every retail place I ever was, I never saw anything even touch upon what to say to people during the holidays.
Yeah, it was so hard. I really, really wanted to say Merry Christmas, but my boss said, you better not fucking mention Christ. Not once.
I could see a manager standing between me and another person at the registers,
actually,
and I said Happy Holidays, and they said Merry Christmas, and the manager didn't go, one of you is fucking fired. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Also...
Can you guess which one?
Also, here's the thing to point out, Tyler. This is the first time I've had a Christmas off, Christmas Eve or Christmas off in years.
Shit.
So
if it's such a goddamn... If it's such
so sacred, why do I have to work?
If it's such a, pun intended, goddamn important fucking day.
Why do people still work?
Yeah,
so shut up. Shut your hole.
Shut your bitch ass.
Shut your mouth.
The cultural shift to become more inclusive for the holidays even made it back to public schools. Increasingly diverse student...
It always goes back to public school.
Increasingly diverse student populations at the same time that court rulings reaffirming... Wait.
I may have typed that wrong.
Okay. Increasingly diverse student populations at the time that court rulings reaffirmed the separation of church and state mandated the non-preferential treatment of religion in the classroom. Wow, that's a really big, long sentence way of saying
hey man,
church and state still had some
I gotta
issues.
pad the time. I gotta pad the time. You know, gotta make a longer episode.
The Los Angeles Times captured the transitional moment in a 1984 article when Danube Avenue Elementary School presented its first holiday program 25 years ago. It all seemed so easy. Most of the students were Anglo and Christian, and the tone of the Times dictated that those who didn't celebrate Christmas would do their best to blend in with the majority. Can you believe what these people are saying?
Yeah,
they're saying like, you know what was nice back in the day is all the Jews and the blacks. They would just fucking toe the line and act like white people. Whatever happened?
They
to
would
that?
assimilate. By the way,
Seriously, that's what they're saying.
that this is most of this research
Horrible.
came from this Snopes article, and I have it with all as every week I have my sources. I have a link to that article. So yeah, that quote was plucked directly from that. There are a couple other lines and quotes that I pulled from that. But I loved including that one and the one from Waterloo. Not just because of the local aspect for us.
So whoever...
Like, it is amazing to hear what these people think in their own words. It's incredible.
So whoever wrote this Los Angeles Times article is a piece of fucking garbage. But to continue, the quote, but times have changed and so has Danube. The school is now attended by Latinos, Asians, Christians, and Jews. Horrible.
So that's fucked up, man. We're losing our country.
Some students travel to the Granada Hills campus from central Los Angeles neighborhoods where little English is spoken and Christmas celebrations don't include visions of
sugar plums. You gonna be all right?
and the sensibilities of the 1980 state that the cultural traditions of all ethnic groups deserve equal time in the classroom. You know what really bugs me about that is, I don't know if you know this, but spend any time with immigrants from South America and maybe Latin America, you will see some sort of religion somewhere. You will. What happened is that Spanish, at least the Spanish that is spoken down there, is all dialects of Spanish and Mayan and Aztec and all that Mesoamerican type of stuff, because they interbred with the native Indians, and so that's how everything came about. But the way that they did it was to include religion in their subservience of that population. Don't misunderstand. They want to tell you that they showed them the light in the way of God. No, they fucking chopped off hands until everybody was like, okay, we believe you.
Anyway,
So, I'm just saying, like, some Christians consider Catholics like whack jobs. And it's like, you're the same fucking people. Oh, I just pissed some more people off.
oh God.
I'm not Catholic. The war seemed to change in momentum. Even the Supreme Court sided with secularists.
Oh my God.
The reason why I got so upset, by the way, at that last paragraph was, who gives a shit about visions of fucking sugar plums? What are they? I can't have one.
What is that?
I can't have one because I don't know what they look like. In 1980, the court ruled that posting the Ten Commandments in public schools is unconstitutional.
Yes.
Yes, it is. In 1985, it found that Alabama's Moment of Silence statute was unconstitutionally biased in favor of prayer. Yes, it is.
Congratulations.
A
America.
1987 ruling disallowed the teaching of creation science alongside evolution.
Woo!
Because there's no basis in science for it. And apropos of Christmas, the court decided in 1989 in Allegheny County v. ACLU that it is unconstitutional to erect a nativity scene on public property. What that means is, you may think you know what that meant, but what it meant is, if you are walking along on public property and you see a nativity scene
in front of a
you
courthouse,
are not allowed to whip out your dick, get a boner, and fuck it.
I didn't. Whoa. Do you have something you need to tell me? That seems oddly specific.
That's exactly what that was. Yeah.
You did that?
No, the
It
guy's
sounds like-
name
I
was
don't-
Allegheny County. And the ACLU had put up the nativity scene,
yeah.
which makes no sense. It is strange that the court would make more progressive changes to public schools, considering there was a resurgence in conservatism in the U.S. under Ronald Reagan. This was also the birth of the religious right. And here's why, is because when Reagan became president, nobody in office had really thought about packing the Supreme Court. That never really occurred.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing that was done. Reagan, Bush, and then Clinton after him, Bush Jr., all that, now it's a thing. And can you fucking believe that orange idiot got 3 in? Fucking 3 people.
Yeah.
So good luck getting your back wages, asshole.
Real briefly, I want to go back and talk about the movements here to take more of the Christianity stuff out of public schools, and how I was happy with that. Something that was really cool that happened when I was in middle school. We took a world cultures type class, but it was centered on the idea of we're going to study all religions because religion is so intrinsically tied to ancient history and world history. You have to teach the baseline simple things of what they believe, like an outline of
a perfect example
stuff.
is,
and we learned about Greek mythology, Roman mythology. We learned about Hinduism, Islam. We learned about everything. Even Western Christianity.
a great example of that is hieroglyphs with Egyptologists.
We learned about Egypt too. Yeah.
You almost can't learn to read that stuff unless you know about their religious beliefs. You almost can't.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And some of their, even their governing is based around sets of belief, like our amendments are the commandments, pretty much.
You want to know? Never mind.
But
there was an Amarna period in the Egypt times, Akhenaten, who actually moved the capital of Egypt and tried to make a monotheistic religion, which was not popular.
Well, yeah, because the pharaohs were all god kings.
But he was the first. He was the first to say that there are because they were a polytheistic society.
They believed all the rulers were gods.
Yeah, many gods. There were,
and that's why they were buried with their servants.
Yeah. What?
In Egypt?
What?
The pharaohs were buried with their servants because they believed that they were passing over to the afterlife because they were gods. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I mean is, like, I agree with you that everything is so tied to religion at that time.
But I think it's really funny that was after.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that needs to be. I think that is a much better way of approaching religion. Is saying, look, this is what everybody believes. This is what all these people believe. We're not saying that it's right or wrong. And that's what she said, like, day one of that class was. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just providing you with what they believe.
After you listen to this episode, I urge you to go watch Contact, starring Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. I just watched that today. New Millennium.
Jody, we're making contact. It's all right.
Hey, Jody. Hey.
So let's move.
New Millennium, same war. Now we've officially moved into...
This is my turn.
No. Oh, well, fucking
I'll read about
Go,
Bill.
asshole.
I'll do Bill O'Reilly. You're fine. Ew, gross. No. Take it back.
Moved to the New Millennium. The actual term, quote, War on Christmas, originated by author Peter Brimlow?
I believe it's Brimlow, but I don't know.
Who gives a shit? He's an asshole. Brimlow is known for his race-based critique of U.S. immigration policy in his book, Alien Nation, Common Sense About America's Immigration Disaster.
Alien Nation, you fucking prick. Alien Nation!
In many ways, prefigured the white nationalist political movement of today.
What a dipshit.
My favorite was when conservatives talk about slaves being immigrants. In 1999, Brimlow launched the political
I don't know what that
website.
That's a Snopes type.
VDare.com, named after Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas. I guess.
Oh my God! What a fucking loser! Who cares about shit like that?
Yeah. Which, besides being condemned by the Anti-Defamation League for its, quote, racist, anti-Semitic, and anti-immigrant postings, would become ground zero in the battle to, quote, save Christmas.
So the Anti-Defamation League are the bad guys in this guy's mind.
Yeah.
Fuck this asshole.
Yeah. Brimlow's December 2000 post containing the first known mention of a war on Christmas warned readers that said war was quote, part of the struggle to abolish America. You fucking people.
Yes,
Just
because that's
shut
how
the
America
fuck up.
falls, Tyler. It's not our economy. It's not our military.
America
it's
falls
our fucking
because our
Christmas.
religious leaders are bent on making money, and the best way that they can do it is by fucking the rest of us. And our fucking country's going to dissolve because of the shitty fucking infrastructure we've done. We haven't done anything for infrastructure. We've been taking all the money from roads and everything else and programs and giving it to the billionaires. There's nothing left to take care of our fucking country. So shut the fuck up. Sorry.
Oh,
I get upset about this fucking bullshit.
well, I do too, because it's back to what I said at the beginning. It's culture war bullshit. This stuff doesn't matter.
No, it really doesn't.
It doesn't
You should be
fucking
worried
matter.
about the fucking goddamn $1 trillion fucking handout that they
all
gave to
of-
billionaires
yeah.
a couple years ago. Assholes. Anyway.
So now we're into Bill O'Reilly's war. You thought you were heated now. It's going to get worse, buddy, because we got
Bill
lots
O'Reilly.
of clips. Now
yeah.
now we're really deep diving into the more contemporary fighters in this war. One of the pillars of right-wing douchebaggery, Bill O'Reilly. O'Reilly started what seemed like his career-long fight for Christmas starting in 2004. He said this on a show. Now, before I get to this, I want to make it very clear. Bill O'Reilly is fucking obsessed with the war on Christmas.
Yeah, he's a fuckwad.
He's a piece of shit. First of all, as a human. Second of all,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
this is just okay. Quote, the city manager in Eugene, Oregon has banned Christmas trees on city property. Reportedly, he consulted with the people of the American Way and with the ACLU, usual suspects, and got their wholehearted support. My children attend a private Catholic school in Shreveport, Louisiana. They have been informed that Happy Holidays will replace Merry Christmas since the latter is offensive to non-Christians.
Before we move on from that little quote, I just want to make it clear, since his children attend a private Catholic school, which does not receive public funding, they can tell you that. They can tell their students that you have to say Happy Holidays instead of
it's
Merry
private.
Christmas. It's bullshit, but they can. So stop getting mad,
So yeah,
Bill.
private school, you can brainwash your kid with
Of course.
with that shit.
Because there doesn't, as long as it doesn't receive public funding, you can say whatever the nonsense
that's why
you want.
I'm not a big
Anyway.
fan of religious private schools. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
they have just been informed. All right, I read
A
that.
parochial, yeah.
What?
A parochial school.
Oh,
no
yeah,
less.
yeah. A parochial school, now less PS, is the same school which banned anything Confederate so as not to insult the literally 1 or 2 blacks in the entire school. He just fucking said that.
Yeah, he did.
Anything Confederate so as not to insult 1 or 2 blacks. White people, stop calling them blacks. That's not okay. Call them black people or African American. Don't call them blacks.
I'm not mad about that. I'm mad about the fact that this guy doesn't care about
No, that's the piece of the layer. It's the other-
children.
How he also just brushes past
Children.
like, oh, we're upset about Confederate shit. Yeah, because they're fucking losers. They're racist piece of shit losers.
Yeah,
that's
they
who
lost.
the Confederacy were.
They lost.
God
And-
damn
and
it!
you want to talk about who has done the most to
Now I'm
damage?
heated.
Who has done the most to damage the integrity of the United States in the entire country's history? Who has been?
Yeah.
Oh, was it the Confederacy? Shut the fuck up.
The tipping point in the obliteration of Christmas came, I think, in the first year of the Clinton administration.
Oh, of course.
Because it's always the Clintons. It's always Jews or Clintons or, George Soros. While everyone else was absorbed in the gays in the military flap, oh my God, I noticed that the United States Postal Service had adopted the slogan, "We deliver for Yule." Since then, no Christmas from the USPS or, so far as I can tell, anything else related to the federal government, end quote.
What the fuck are you talking about? Yule log is a Christmas thing. What are you talking about?
That's what he's saying. He's like, that's the only thing I saw that was Christmassy.
In government.
Yeah.
What?
Culture war bullshit,
go on,
Tyler, remember.
Go on. I don't
In
have
that
the
same
patience.
year, a group joined the fray called the Committee to Save Merry Christmas, which, using language not dissimilar to Henry Ford's, said their purpose was to, quote, protect the fact that the big retailers... to protest the fact that big retailers profit from Christmas shopping dollars, but refuse to mention the holiday by name, end quote. The organization followed O'Reilly in calling for a boycott of Macy's, Bloomingdale's, and other retail outlets owned by Federated? I guess that is the name. Federated department stores to compel them to reinstate the phrase Merry Christmas in their holiday presentations and greetings to customers. So they're now trying to force private businesses, private companies, and tell them what to do.
If this ever happened, if I owned a business and I had a bunch of these fuckfaces show up and say, you got to do this or we're not going to come to your store anymore, I would fucking burn the fucking place to the ground before I let any of those fuckers partake in my business.
If this were liberals trying to, I don't know, talk about wearing a mask mandate in businesses to help people's health, don't you think the right wing did get pissed about that because they're private businesses. They could do what they want.
Fuck off.
Unless it has to do with Christmas. Then fuck it, right, Bill? In 2005, O'Reilly expanded his roster of anti-Christmas companies to boycott. He added Sears, Kmart, Kohl's, Target, Walmart, and Costco to the naughty list. So he just picked the biggest corporate. Okay. By 2006, all the stores that were being targeted by O'Reilly and his cronies caved. They started adding the word Christmas in their greetings. And O'Reilly, being the fucking arrogant asshole he is, declared victory.
There's no question about that. We were able to rally the Alliance Defense Fund in Phoenix, Arizona, to fight the ACLU in court. We were able to convince the major retailers to not order their employees. To not say Merry Christmas, to stop that nonsense.
Again, that's never happened in any retail environment that I've ever worked in.
Nope. Never once has my manager said, you don't dare say Merry Christmas. Don't you fucking dare.
It's actually not even... The only time it would be mentioned is if somebody got mad at me for not saying Merry Christmas, and I went and told my manager about it because I wanted to take a break because I was sick of fucking people.
Exactly.
That's the only way it would be discussed at all, and the manager would do nothing but listen and go, yeah, you know what? Go take a break. It's cool.
Yep. So
you wouldn't go, well, why didn't you just say Merry Christmas, you fucking idiot?
Two things I want people to pay attention to out of this, out of that first clip. One, he declared victory, and that was in 2006. He declared victory. Two, he mentions the there's this particular legal group that he was with, and
ACLU.
ADF. It was the ADF.
Oh yeah.
And we will be talking about them in a couple weeks because the ADF are some of the most vile bigots in the American justice system, and it's fucking gross. And he, of course, saddled up with them because, again, they're a bunch of culture war bitches. You would think O'Reilly would ride off into the sunset. Of course not. It's a never-ending culture war for the soul of America, Tyler. You got to wake up. And you can't stop fighting.
Sure.
So O'Reilly persisted. O'Reilly persisted.
O'Reilly.
Doesn't say racist shit.
Auto parts.
And serviceable car people. The following are multiple times he mentioned the war on Christmas after he had already declared victory. So this first one is from December 2nd, 2013.
Oh, God. Each one of these is a clip of Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You got to deal with it. So this is the war on Christmas is upon us from 2013.
Over the years, we've taken on the role of protecting the federal holiday of Christmas. As you know, there are some Americans who are offended by any reference to Jesus
No, they're
Christ.
not.
And that's what the USA celebrates on December 25th, the birth of the baby Jesus. President Grant signed the holiday into law after Congress passed legislation in 1870 acknowledging the country's Judeo-Christian tradition. And so, Americans officially...
You're such a fucking moron. You don't even know your own goddamn religion and, like, science and dates.
Creeping secularism and pressure groups like the ACLU began attacking the Christmas holiday. They demanded
Christmas.
The word Christmas be removed from advertising and public displays, and many people caved into that. So now we have the Happy Holidays syndrome. What is interesting this year is that Hanukkah will be over on Thursday. So there are no more holidays between then and Christmas Day. It's just
what a
Christmas
piece of shit.
if you want to invoke happy. Bad news for the secular progressives.
Bad news for the secular progressives. All their holidays are over, so all you have to do is say Merry Christmas now, bitch. That's literally what he was trying to say. Fuck you.
He literally said, I've only heard about two religions, Christianity and Judaism. And now that Hanukkah's over, there's nothing else.
Nobody cares about
There's nothing
Kwanzaa.
else.
Fuck Kwanzaa.
I've never even heard of that.
What is that? I don't even know. I'm Bill O'Reilly. There's only Jews and Christians. That's it.
What a stupid motherfucker.
All right, here we go. Clip number 2. Same year, December 2013, ESPN's War on Christmas. So now even ESPN are the bad guys.
But in this case, Miss Kelly is correct. Santa was a white person. Does that matter? No, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
The spirit of...
Sweet.
That's the wrong clip.
Why is he talking about it? Okay, I can't wait to hear that one.
Also, the first salvo this season in the ongoing War on Christmas in Montgomery County, Maryland. There'll be no mention of Christmas or any other religious holiday on the school calendars going forward.
I'm sorry, I don't think I have the ESPN one. This is the Muslims are attacking Christmas, December 2014.
Well, essentially the school system took a vote, the school board took a vote, and they've decided to exclude all references to religious holidays in their school calendar for 2015-2016 for that school year. The way it got started is that Muslim community leaders for quite some time now have been asking for equal billing for their two major Muslim holidays.
Seems pretty reasonable,
Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr, which mark the end of Ramadan and the end of the Hajj.
So they wanted to have equal status with Christmas, Hanukkah, Passover.
What
correct?
a bunch of pieces
Exactly.
of
But
shit.
there aren't nearly as many Muslim kids in the schools in Montgomery County, Maryland, as there are Jewish or Christian kids. Is that correct?
Okay, so I cut it off there. There's more to. There's a little bit more to that, and it's
it's
just
okay.
kind of meaningless.
okay.
But again, it goes back to what he said in that other clip. Well, Hanukkah's over, so just say Merry Christmas. Oh, there's only a couple Muslim kids in there. By that, do you mean there's a couple of brown-looking kids in there, Bill? That sounds like what you're saying. Because you don't know. There could be a white kid that practices Islam and is Muslim. You don't know that. You piece of shit. All right. We're almost done, buddy. I promise.
So I'm Montgomery County school superintendent. I'll put your little.
This is another.
holiday on
This is
there.
continuing the
Okay, but
Muslim
you're not
stuff.
getting off, because if I give you off, then I have to give Halloween to Wiccans, right? And I'm not besmirching the Muslim religion. It's
Yes, you are.
a public school, and in the public, it's primarily Christian, all right, and Jewish, not Muslim, and those are the demographics.
What?
But the argument here that they're making is that this was the wrong decision on the part of the school board. They were disappointed and shocked by it. They had no idea
Of
that
course,
all
but
these
they're a
holidays
pressure
would be
group.
excluded.
It's a pressure group, and Montgomery County caved in, and they're wiping out. Christmas.
Weird, kind of what you did to those
and
department
Easter
stores, huh?
and Passover,
Fucko.
These have a Judeo-Christian tradition in our country.
Use the
So they've
fucking
wiped out all our
thing and then
traditions because these
denigrate the
people-
fucking
but I
style.
will say, I would have been respectful and put it on the calendar, but you're not getting off. You want to take off? Fine.
Well, they
but
are,
you're not getting off.
the population is growing, and there
So
are school systems
that-
around the country where those holidays are off
It's
on
like
their
0
school
to
calendars.
it's like 0.2%. All right. Now, so if you add 1, the population's growing.
So here's the beauty of this. Again, this man has said that back in 2006, he won the war on Christmas. But here he is in 2014, and I cut it up into two clips because it's so long, bitching that some Muslim kids wanted equal footing for their
Muslim community.
Yeah, Muslim kids to have the same footing is what I'm trying to get at. But here's the thing. He keeps bringing it up that he thinks that only Jews and Christians celebrate anything this time of year.
Bill, are you so stupid that you've never even read the fact that Jesus was not born on December 25th?
No, that happened. That's a thing.
That if you look at the night sky from Bethlehem where he was born, the North Star would have appeared in the sky at that point in the summer. So Jesus was born in the summer. And I can't believe you don't know that. And you consider yourself a Christian? Fuck you, Bill.
I agree. Bill sucks dinky. All right, so here we go. This is another one. White Santa
Hey,
that's all I'm gonna say.
We're a
White
bunch
Santa is the name of this clip.
We're a bunch of Romans, or we're a bunch of Romans, and we're trying. Yeah, all right.
But in this case, Miss Kelly is correct. Santa was a white person. Does that matter?
No,
it doesn't matter. The spirit of Santa transcends all racial boundaries. It's a spirit based on generosity,
Santa's
kindness to
bigger
children,
than race,
and magical moments. But for those who despise the Fox News channel, there's nothing magical about anything we do here. Again, a little history. When we first started up more than 17 years ago, the mainstream media was dismissive, believing CNN and MSNBC would crush us. They were wrong. When that became apparent, the liberal media attacked and continues to do so today. Because they cannot defeat us on the media battlefield, the far left seeks to demonize Fox News as a right-wing propaganda machine and a racist enterprise.
You are.
That's why Miss Megan got headlines about a Santa Claus remark that was totally harmless.
Harmless. So her saying, what if it was before school and a black family's getting ready to school and hey, they're like, let's turn on today, because I believe that's when it happened. It was if I remember correctly, that was when she was on that show, and she says there isn't a black Santa. What's a kid gonna say to that, Bill? You think that's harmless to that kid that still believes in Santa? How about you stop pretending that you care about a fictional character's race? Because you sound like a fucking incel, Bill.
My favorite part is when he was like, for the first 17 years, the mainstream media was dismissive. But then, as soon as they saw that we were coming up, they attacked. The liberal media attacked. Yeah, Bill, you want to know why those first 17 years you guys weren't shit? Because you didn't have a bunch of cronies in government writing bills to allow your fucking brand of bullshit mainstream journalism, which is none of those things.
Fair and balanced,
to
Tyler.
sit
Fair
there and fucking put yourself off to poor fucking elderly people who don't know any better that you're actual news, and you're scaring the shit out of them. I don't like it. All right, Dick. So fucking eat it. Why did you play Bill O'Reilly for me, you ass?
He's a major component to this.
Fuck Bill O'Reilly.
Awfully lot of coverage dedicated to a war you won there, Bill.
Yeah, right.
He's probably done a few segments this year.
You know he has.
But
he's doing one today.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Oh, he's got them in the can, dude. They were pre-recorded, everything. They're all.
He's in the Bahamas right now.
Yeah. But we've already subjected you and Tyler to enough of Bill O'Reilly's dumb-ass takes for one episode.
How about
let's
for the
move
rest
on.
of my life?
Oh, this next section is a very special moment for me. I love this so much. Why don't you read for me?
The Starbucks Red Cup Dawn. In 2015, the biggest coffee company in the world had a huge controversy on their hands. The controversy was a red cup. For years, Starbucks switched their regular cups to red Christmas festive ones, except in 2015. The company decided to remove the Christmas items from the cup, simply just making it a festive red cup. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
It takes away Christmas, you asshole.
Yeah, Starbucks taking the Christmas shit off of their cup means Christmas doesn't happen anymore.
Exactly.
Are you so fucking... Do you really... Is your faith in your religion and your God
Tyler,
so fucking small that you think a goddamn Seattle coffee company is going to take away your...
Good Lord.
I gotta be honest. You think that fucking Jesus and Lord and is all powerful and nothing can fucking fuck with God? All right? Then why the fuck do you have to protect him so much? Fuck!
Good God.
The man responsible for starting all of this is preacher and social media clout chaser Joshua Feuerstein. Feuerstein shared this video and it went viral. That piece was shared more than 201,000 times and received more than 1.8 million likes, quote, on Facebook.
So here we go. This
quote,
is the clip. And I know you're trying to get past it, but we're playing the clip, Tyler. Here we go. This is a little over a minute, but man, is it perfect.
Look, Josh Fierstein here. You know, I think in the age of political correctness, we become so open-minded, our brains have literally fallen out of our head. Do you realize that Starbucks wanted to take Christ and Christmas off of their brand new cups? That's why they're just plain red. In fact, do you realize that Starbucks isn't allowed to say Merry Christmas to customers? Well, I decided, instead of simply boycotting...
Nobody ever said that at a Starbucks.
So when I went
Listen,
in and I asked for my coffee, they asked for my name, and I told them my name... It's Merry Christmas. So guess what?
Boom!
Starbucks
fucking roasted
into putting Merry Christmas on your cup. And I'm challenging all great Americans and Christians around this great nation. Go into Starbucks and take your own coffee selfie. And then I challenge you to not only share this video so that the word gets out, but let's start a movement.
Start a movement, guys.
I don't know, hashtag Merry Christmas Starbucks. And I know that by sharing this video and getting other Christians to do it,
I can't wait to walk into a Starbucks some Christmas and find like 80 fucking conservative Christians arguing.
Here we go.
I made sure to wear my Jesus Christ shirt into your store. And since you hate the Second Amendment, I even carried my gun. Yikes.
Why are you packing to go fucking get Starbucks, Josh?
Yeah, you fucking creep.
You haven't seen him. So here's the thing about Joshua Fierstein.
He's a creep.
Is one of those things where he was a hate.
Is he one of those weightlifters for Jesus?
No, he's a fat fuck. I'll tell you about it. Yeah. Hey, we're not here to body shame, but he is rather fat. Josh is an interesting character. So I started following Josh on Facebook when I was actually still, still went to church and everything. And then I never got rid of him, and I kind of just kept him as a hate follow, which I don't do anymore, and I don't recommend doing on social media. Because he left, he went to Parler, which is even funnier. But I had known about him, and I had seen this when it originally happened pop up on my Facebook. And I actually did parody videos of Joshua Fierstein because he's so ridiculous. And it's just funny that we're talking about him on this podcast because Joshua Fierstein is a fucking lunatic, grifter, loser. Just like Pastor Gregory Locke, if you follow him, he is a fucking piece of shit who said COVID isn't real. Still has church services and people in there with no masks. Doesn't give a shit about you. Said that Trump faked... or the election was rigged and that COVID isn't a pandemic and all this other shit. So that's who Joshua Fierstein's like.
So I can't wait to walk into Starbucks at some point and see 20 conservative Christians arguing over which drink is theirs because they all told the barista that their name is Merry Christmas.
Oh my God, are you one of those fucking crazy nutbags?
No, you just walk in and I'm like, I had a fucking latte. Well, you shouldn't have said Merry Christmas because that person said Merry Christmas, and that you see how dumb you are?
This is just a coffee filter. It's nothing in it. Anyway.
That piece was shared more than 201,000 times and received more than 1.8 million likes on Facebook.
Because America's dumb.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know what? I'm part of the problem. I probably liked it.
Yeah, dick.
Or I probably shared it as a joke to be like, look at this fucking idiot.
But it's not just people who agree with Fierstein's video views who watch the video. The reason Fuckface's videos are so popular is that many people disagree with him.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah, that's smart. This is why I hate that you watch that shit on YouTube. Because you're just feeding the beast.
It's not actually his shit.
Not him. I'm
talking
about all of the stuff you look up on YouTube. Look up funny trailers and cartoons from your youth.
You stop worrying about how I spend my time on YouTube,
because
buddy.
You're feeding the Alex Jones
I do it
beast.
for this show.
Oh my God, this show is not worth it. It was shared around so much, it even got Fuckface on CNN. I just don't know how to pronounce his last name, and I'm tired of
Fuckface is fine. Joshua Fuckface.
Here's a clip of that.
Yeah, here's him on CNN.
I think that this has been something that has been taking place slowly over time. And again, it goes to show a much larger narrative of a society that has slowly been trying to take Christmas out of the public spotlight.
Enunciates.
And now, with this video going viral, 13 million
America.
views in 3 days, it's been shared over and over. It's a trending hashtag for the last 2 days on social media.
All right, and there's another part of this clip.
What we've tapped into here is that there is a large demographic of Christian Americans that are saying we're fed up with being politically correct and it's time to just be correct. I mean, look, if this was not a Judeo-Christian society, then why did Obama have to pretend to be one in order to get elected?
What did he do to get elected?
Obama pretended to be Christian to get elected.
My favorite was that he literally said, I know that he was trying to make a point because these idiots like to use alliteration and wittiness or whatever. Oh, they're sick of the politically correctness. They just want it to be correct. What you just said was that all religions other than Christianity are wrong. That's literally what you said.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Wow, nice preacher, fuckface.
Joshua Fierstein is a dipshit grifter, and nobody should ever take him seriously.
You don't need to read that last paragraph.
Yeah.
Just know that he's a popular shithead among the right wings because he came up with a grift that none of them came up with.
Yeah. So here's another important.
He's making money off of being a dick.
Another important story to talk about. This war on Christmas isn't necessarily over, Tyler. There's one more section that we haven't talked about.
Jesus Christ.
And this happened recently, very recently. I want to say December 13th, if I'm remembering it correctly. Okay, I'm pulling it up. So would you believe...
You're pulling it out? Put that away.
Oh, there you go. So would you believe that in 2020, the year of our Lord, we would still have this war? We're still living in the middle of a pandemic, so maybe we shouldn't surround ourselves with other people. COVID provided another chapter to the war. Don't believe us? Well, then explain the rally held by Moms for America. This organization held a rally in D.C. on December 13th. This is what the website said promoting the event. This is directly from the website. Quote, they tried to cancel Thanksgiving. Now they want to cancel Christmas. This has been a challenging year for all of us and a very bad year for freedom. Politicians have used COVID as a massive power grab, usurping the Constitution while exempting themselves from their own draconian mandates. They've closed schools, arbitrarily shut down businesses, and banned church services in a concerted effort to strip us of anything that gives us purpose and passion, our faith, our family, our freedom.
Read a fucking book and shut the fuck up. God damn.
On November 3rd,
Jesus Christ, I can't go to the store and get my nails done. I'm going to punch you in the face.
I can't get my Happy Lifetime juice.
Fuck off.
On November...
Amazon delivers alcohol.
I gotta finish it. Shush. On November 3rd, millions of mothers flooded to the polls to protect our freedoms, our families, and all we hold dear. This election was not a mandate for socialism. It was not a message against President Trump. It was proof that evil has infiltrated all aspects of our society, and communism has infiltrated all levels of our government. There is no church in communism. There is no personal property. I'm almost done. No individual liberties. No freedom of speech. And the only equality in communism is misery among the masses, while a few elitists live like kings. This is not our vision of the future. This is not the life we want for our children.
You lied.
There's one more paragraph.
Another paragraph? Can we just accept that the rest?
No, because it gets better. It gets worse. The darkness isn't going to leave, so we just need to turn the light. If you're tired of cancel culture, overreaching politicians, stolen freedoms, and looking for some light in the darkness, then let's be the light, guys. Come on, gather together in your own community, or join with us in Washington, D.C. to celebrate the birth of the only king in America, God. We are all children of the King, united as one human race. So let us come together, united as one people, under God, to celebrate Christmas and our God-given, constitutionally protected right to worship, pray, and sing.
I'm kind of angry at you for usurping some of our showtime for that shit.
Oh, it gets better.
I know
it gets better.
No, we're not reading any more of that.
No, I'm not reading any more.
I was going to say, don't.
I'm showing you this because you're going to laugh at how stupid these people are.
Let's reach out to our neighbors.
Oh, what is this shit?
Start this hashtag Keep Christmas.
Keep
Every time
Christmas.
you see somebody caroling, video it. Hashtag Keep Christmas. If you're putting up your nativity, if you're putting up your Christmas tree, if you see some
This
beautiful
is at the
lights,
rally.
take pictures, take video. Let's flood the darkness of social media with the light, and by God, let's keep Christmas.
Christmas hasn't gone anywhere, ladies.
My favorite is how they say that communism has infiltrated all levels of government, and yet those 2 years after Trump got elected, when Republicans had the majority,
Nothing happened?
They still had not gotten rid of all the socialists by 2020. You had 2 years to get rid of all the communists and stuff, man.
Yeah.
And by 2018, we still have communists and socialists. In 2020, we still have them? We have more of them? I don't think Trump did anything that he said.
What?
I'm pissed.
Here, one more. And
no, stop.
This is it. This is the end.
We already know what they sound like. They're dumb Karens.
There's one more. You got to listen to it. Believe it or not, the MyPillow guy, Mike Lindell, showed up to this. I don't have his audio, but he was at this.
So important that we keep holidays. Those are actually holy days. And God has given them to us for a reason. It is because he wants us to teach our children about the principles of our faith and do it in a way that's fun, that a child can remember. We cannot let Thanksgiving and Christmas go by and
God
our children
celebrates
not
Thanksgiving?
be taught about the holiness of why we do those things.
Thanksgiving's
we
not
can't let
holy.
this pass us by and our children not understand what we're
Is that
doing.
Janine Pirro?
We must stand up and say,
no.
absolutely not. No one cancels Christmas.
Nobody's trying.
You should really write a speech when you're going to have a protest instead of doing the stream of consciousness shit that you just did, because you made no sense. And you also just sounded like a fucking little petulant child that needs to get smacked.
Yeah,
Not that I
well,
believe children need to get smacked. I'm saying...
Didn't expect it to get as heated as it did, but, that's what happens around the holidays, man. It gets heated. So that is our coverage on the war on Christmas. I think it was therapeutic because I've been wanting to talk about this for years because I've always thought this whole thing is stupid.
Oh, it's asinine.
Because you shouldn't care what other people believe and you shouldn't care what other people say.
Yeah.
And to be mad and say we're losing Christmas and our values and be like, bitch, what are you talking about?
And really,
Christmas ain't going anywhere.
Celebrating Christmas is how you teach the values of your faith to your children. What the fuck are you doing the other 364 days of the year, you fucking motherfucker? Just shoving them in Sunday school? That's real good. Real good, lady.
Tyler, do you want to step out for a second, cool off, maybe? You all right? Because you're pretty angry.
I want that lady to never ever speak in public again. Like, that was just so stupid.
Yeah.
It was so dumb. You could tell as soon as she said the first sentence that she's like, well, shit, that's not where I wanted to go. Now I got to bring it back around somehow. If I keep talking...
The holy days.
Keep talking, I think my brain will just get me there on its own.
Holy days. Stick to that, sweetheart. Stick to holy days. No, yeah. In summation, we've made our points pretty...
In summation, I hate you all. Just kidding.
Yeah, we've made our points pretty clear. And I want to end with this and send it out more on a positive note. Because we've been real negative.
I screamed a lot.
Yeah. Well, hey... You had every reason to be mad. But just remember, let us get upset about this culture war shit, because that's our job. We're going to expose conspiracy theories. We're going to expose people that lie. Let us worry about that. Don't let yourself get worn down with these culture war shits. And by that, I mean, Tyler, don't worry about it. I'll deal with it.
Also, real quick, I do want to let you know, if you have a legitimate, I want you, if you've ever worked in retail or food service or any service kind of industry, and you have factual information that you were told once to say or not say a certain thing during a holiday season, I want you to send an email to us so that I can, with your phone number, so that I can call you directly, and when you answer the phone, I can scream at you bullshit and then hang it up.
Yeah, because
you're a fucking liar.
Because it's your first,
or you missed an opportunity to own that restaurant. Because that's a fucking actionable thing right there,
Yeah, it's
dude.
against your rights.
So it's your fault, I guess.
And I know a lot, like myself, I know a lot of people are not going to be able to spend time with their families over Christmas, or traditionally how they would, like they had to deal with Thanksgiving.
That sucks.
That's when, those are things you need to talk about. Yeah. Those are things you need to worry about. Not whether somebody has to say Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas. Who fucking cares? None of this shit matters. The only thing that matters is, especially in this year and this time, if you have a chance to safely be with people that you care about and you love, do it. But, make sure it's safe. Make sure you're doing the right things, because you don't want grandma to get COVID. That's the last thing you want to do. And I'm not lecturing you how to live your life. I'm just saying be smart, be safe.
Last Christmas, I gave you COVID.
Tyler, look, this way, listen to this. We're going to have to take care of ourselves because our fucking government ain't going to take care of us. You know that. We got to take care of each other. So I want you guys to have a happy whatever the fuck holiday you celebrate. Even if you're atheist, if you're Christian, I don't care what you celebrate. Just spend time with your family.
And kind of piggybacking on that, everybody wants the same thing: happiness. They want their kids to be happy and safe. They want their families to be happy and safe. They don't want a bunch of bullshit. And I'm not talking about the bullshit that Trumpers are calling everything that is decent humanity. Did you see those? No more bullshit. Goddamn rights to people. Anyway, the point is that just because somebody lives in a different culture or lives a different lifestyle or lives, in a different religion, that doesn't mean that they don't want the same damn things that you want. So for you to get upset with them over the type of decorations they have
or what they say, like,
shut up.
Stop. Yeah, just stop.
Look in the mirror, and there's something you need to change.
It's not like they're saying, hey, go fuck yourself.
and Jesus dying on the cross did not give you carte blanche to be a fuckface to everybody. Sorry. That's not what that was about.
So thank you so much for spending your Christmas day. That's right. When this episode goes live, it will be Christmas.
You know what I'm doing on Christmas Day?
Watching Wonder Woman and then watching the Vikings lose. What, is he leaving? Oh, Tyler left the studio.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.